So we over here at the scheme couch in the scheme room and shit. You know, before we get to scheming, I'm gonna have to throw on my scheme glasses. You feel
That's
me?
already good thing.
Shit like that.
She said you got the scheme
And
glasses.
the scheme things. Ooh. Wow. Man, I'm gonna get the red Medusa. This shit actually really good.
Yo, I'm not mad at this drawing. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm really not mad at it. The presentation ain't all that, but the end result, like, I ain't really mad. I ain't too mad at it.
This shit work, bro. So when we over here scheming and shit at the scheme couch, what I want to talk about is the future and the future of you. So where do you want to take yourself and your personal brand? Because I believe everybody is a brand in and of themselves.
When, you know what I'm saying, when it's all said and done and shit, right? I just want people to look back and I want to be able to look back and say that, like, I contributed to the betterment of my people. Like, that's something that's really important to me right now. It's something that's always been, like, important, but the action and actually acting is what's important. And so, I mean, obviously, like, for me, like, action starts with the mind. And so, like, man, first and foremost, man, it's just like, bro, it's a lot more that I need to learn, a lot more studying I gotta do, a lot more reading I gotta do. And that's studying, that reading, bro, I'm hoping that it leads, you know what I'm saying, it leads to the start of building a nation.
So when you talk about this nation, right?
Yeah.
Are you speaking as in an actual factual new nation, like, hey, America, we black, give us the West and all the money you owe us as a people, and let us start our own nation, and you are interested in, you know, leading that charge? Or are you saying you want to spark the minds of folks to be able to get something like that going?
Nah, I don't look at it in the sense of like, yo, let us live on the West Coast and you motherfuckers can live over there. Like, not like that. I just mean more so like we have a uniform culture, or we have a uniform way of life. You know what I'm saying? That's based upon truth and nothing but that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's just what's important. And I think that, like, if people, man, if you just, like, take a look at anything you believe and, like, really ask yourself what you know about it. Or do you believe it?
Or do you just believe it?
Because it's been passed down from whatever, generation to generation, a lot like religion. You know,
a lot of shit.
A lot of shit just gets passed down from generation to generation, and like, you have a lot of people who believe and follow and do things that they don't know or understand why they do it. You know what I mean? When I say a nation, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean like in the sense of like we here and they're there, but we're here and we're us in the midst of them being them.
So do you really think that that's really possible without an actual line drawn in the sand as to this is ours and that's yours? Because check me out when I say this, right? You already know I'm not on no racist type shit or anything like that, but I do believe in the equality for man, and every man should be treated like a man. And I know that to be a man, you have to have your own.
Yeah.
In general, if we want to go out here and we want another man in the street to treat us a certain way, we got to have our own. Even in order for us to even have the confidence to go out here and ask to be treated how we want to be treated, we have to have our own. You know what I'm saying? If you're not, then you piggybacking off somebody else, or you relying on somebody else to make your way of life a way of life. And that works to a certain extent, but you have to be willing to give up certain freedoms when you got shit like that, right? So, to me, I feel like, yeah, we should have our own. Like, I got my own house, but that don't mean that my friends can't come over, and my friends ain't welcome. I mean that you here with me and we gonna eat, drink, and scheme. Cause I invited you over.
Yeah.
Whether you white, black, yellow, green, or brown.
Mm-hmm.
If I choose for you to come over and I say it's cool, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that who I choose and ask to come over, to some extent, believes in what I believe in and is gonna treat me a certain way. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if we did have our own shit, we could regulate it like that, because then we could have our own ways of governing ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, yeah, no, that's important. Like having your own. Like first and foremost, like in the grand scheme of things, like people don't really like understand, like in terms of like power and like the powers that be. It's in my opinion, like, and it's in my belief that they only respect money and violence. And violence isn't always the answer, but money is. Like, when violence isn't the answer, money always is the
Or
answer.
even before violence.
Yeah, money is always the answer. Like, money speaks louder than violence. Like, violence definitely speaks, but ultimately, like
say this for example, right? Say for example, right? Somebody disrespected your lady, right?
mm-hmm.
And nigga was like, you know what, bruh? And you want to fight, right? And he like, you know what, bruh? I ain't really down to fight. I did disrespect your lady though. So take $2,500 and y'all just let that be tonight.
Yeah.
You probably gonna take that $2,500 instead of slapping a nigga in his face like you was planning on
No,
doing.
sure indeed.
See what I'm saying?
True indeed.
And by you taking that $2,500,
Unless it's a deeper matter of principle. Like,
but I bet you money can outweigh that.
yeah.
I bet you a certain dollar amount can outweigh that. There's a certain dollar amount that outweighs everything. That's what I'm saying.
You know, like people. Honestly, I don't feel that I could be bought.
Yeah, 100%.
But like in
But the way life
a
goes.
scenario like that, yeah, I'll take the fucking 2,500. Like, like give me the 2,500. Like I'm gonna say what I need to say, but I ain't gonna punch you in the face. And so I say all of that to say, like, financial literacy is important. Like, and I'm not the most like financially literate motherfucker either. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I understand, like, yo, money make the world fucking move. And a lot of times, man, to get where you ultimately want to be, man, it's gonna take money. And so owning your own being important, it takes money to own your own. What if, like, we bought fucking 10 acres of fucking land? Like, you know how big 10 acres is, yo? That's a lot of fucking land.
100%.
Like, that's a lot. You can do a lot with that.
10 acres.
On that 10
I can put my
acres.
niggas on.
On that 10 acres, yo, you can build something that caters to something. You can build something else that caters to something else. You can have this much of the land that's dedicated to nothing but farming.
Shout out Yeezy Campus.
You can have a building here that's dedicated to teaching about your history, you know what I'm saying, as far back as it can be traced. You know what I'm saying?
How would you say will be the best way for black folks to ever really get to that point or even achieve this ownership that we're talking about?
That's the hardest thing, bro, because I don't have a clear-cut plan. What I do know is that it starts with it starts up here. It starts up here, bro. And if it don't start up there, then it ain't gonna start.
What can spark
And
this?
so that's different for every person. That's different for every person. Like, for some people, George Floyd was that spark. Some people been on this world 20 plus years, 30 plus years, and George Floyd was the spark. For some people, it was something else. For some people, it's gonna be something else. For some people, it wasn't even George Floyd, and it ain't their time yet. And so you don't know. All you can do is impart your wisdom.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's each one teach one. That's all you can really do. You can't do it for nobody. And at the end of the day, man, you gotta be a self-savior. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you can't make people come with you. You can't make people grow with you. You can't make people develop with you. And so individually, you gotta move, you know what I'm saying, with that mindset. Like individually as a man, you gotta move like you got a family you about to have. That's your fucking family. That's your universe. You understand? And you the God in your universe. And that's what every melanated person gotta understand. Is that you the God. Every melanated man, you gotta understand you the God
Straight
of
like
your
that.
universe.
When nigga Kanye said, I am God, nigga,
Like,
that's what he talking about.
nothing, and it's like, yo, nothing happens that you don't make happen. Belief don't make nothing happen for you. Only action. Which furthermore shows that you are the God. If you don't make it happen, shit don't happen. You are the master of your universe, son. And like that's what it is. Like, but that takes knowledge of self, and,
Well,
and a lot of people don't have it.
I know that you say take knowledge of self. That's 100% right. I believe that to have knowledge of self, you have to gain another knowledge as well. You know what I'm saying? There's knowledge that helps you obtain or attain the knowledge of self. So what knowledge do you think that you went out and gained, or what knowledge you think sparked you to be like, I need to take notice of myself and gain a knowledge of myself?
I can probably attribute it to 2 or 3 like main like scenarios in my life. And so like the first, you know what I mean, I guess instance of me like being on a path towards like obtaining knowledge of self, it was when I was in college. I took a African American Studies course. The next thing that happened was I was in Philly, and this cat I knew, you feel me, named Brahim, had this documentary DVD by the Hebrew Israelites called The Curses. I don't know if you've never been confronted with something, son, that literally shake you to your core, and you know that like from then on out, you can't go on believing what you was believing 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, an hour ago, yesterday. You can't go on believing that. And that, you feel me, that DVD was like, that was the first thing that really introduced me to the thought that like everything I've been taught my whole life been a lie for the most part. At that time, I still believed in hell. And I remember feeling like, yo, everybody I ever trusted, everybody I ever loved, everybody I ever looked up to or thought was supposed to guide me and teach me, all they was doing was setting me up to go to hell my whole life. And that shit brought me to tears. Because like I started looking at it like, yo, all these preachers, they know. Like, y'all go to school to study this book. And like y'all come and y'all tell us certain things out of this book. And you know what I'm saying, you twist it and make it feel and sound this way, but you don't tell us the whole truth. You tell us a bunch of lies and you give us these stories. And so yeah, man, and so it was that. And then like I remember just like, you know, for a few years after that, man, like I was lost, like just running around doing street shit and not focused on that. Like even when I met you, son, like I wasn't focused on that. Like I still felt that stuff, but like, I wasn't focused on that. I wasn't focused on building on that. You know what I'm saying? That energy and that knowledge. That was like reading Roots too. That was like another thing.
Oh, you read that motherfucker?
Roots? Yeah.
Or you watched
it? No, I read it. I've never completely watched Roots. I read it. And so like reading that, it was like, yo, like for a period of time, it was like, yo, shit just was coming to me. We really grow up like ignorant as fuck.
100%.
And ignorant doesn't mean stupid. And so and people get that shit misconstrued all the time. Like I've never been stupid my whole life. My whole life I never knew shit.
Before.
And that's the thing, like my whole life I never knew shit, but I never been stupid.
Never been stupid.
You know what I mean?
Why? You know why you never been stupid? Because you at least have had the willingness to learn and the openness to learn.
For sure.
An ignorant motherfucker is not interested in learning beyond whatever the nigga think he know.
Indeed. And so then I'm gonna tell you like another thing. Hip hop. A lot of the hip hop that we, or me, people in my generation, older, been listening to our whole life. The gods been dropping jewels and dropping gems. The gods meaning the 5%ers, the nations of gods and earth. They've been dropping gems like, you know what I mean, all our life. And it's just like I came to a point where I was just like, yo, I would really want to know exactly, you know what I'm saying, what that's about. Mm-hmm. I knew my educator for mad years and never knew he was a 5%er.
Most niggas watching this ain't gonna know what any of this shit you talking about is. So just explain a little bit about the 5%ers.
I mean, so
the knowledge that you
just
have.
basically like 5% is not it's not a religion. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We don't believe in the mystery God. You can prove everything in this universe but the existence of the mystery of God. Mm-hmm. As we as the average human beings see it. You can prove everything but. You know what I'm saying? It's like the only way you get to know God, you gotta die. And that's the only way you can prove his existence. Mm-hmm. But you can prove the existence of everything else. Everything else, science and math. Mm-hmm. That's the language of nature. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like,
but there's no language for like hope.
Hope?
There's no person or thing or whatever. So I think that's what the God part is when people speak on a God. You ever felt like, damn, there's not more action I can do right now.
Yeah, of course.
There's not too much
is.
action that I can. No, you're 100% correct.
It is.
But you ever felt like 100% like you said, right? Of course, right? So most people, that's time to give up because when you get to that point, you feel like as a person you have exhausted all resources.
That ain't what God do though, and that's the difference, son. Like that's not what God do. That's not what God gonna do. You gotta overcome. I feel like the higher power is the universe, the energy.
Yeah.
I feel like as black people, we have more of a connection to it than other people. I'm not saying that they don't even have a connection to it. Yeah, of course they do. They're living, breathing beings. Like, of course they do. I think we have a greater connection to it, and I feel like it shows itself over and over and over again in every facet of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are the original man, the makers, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? The father of civilization, the God of the universe. And that's facts. Self-savior. That's the 19th letter of the alphabet, that's S. And supreme alphabet, that's self-savior. And nobody gonna save you, dog. Listen, man. I'm sorry, I might hurt people's feelings. People not gonna like this video, son. Like, dog, because Jesus not coming back. Ain't no Jesus coming to save you. I'm sorry. I'm going to hell if it's true. I'm going to hell because I don't believe in this shit.
So before we get out of here and shit, I've been listening to you, right? Mm-hmm. And just knowing you and shit, mm-hmm. It seems to me like you have a lot of knowledge and a lot of, shit, nigga, power. You know, like we said before, I'm not an ignorant nigga and I'm not a stupid nigga. Word. So I could recognize an enlightened nigga. You see what I'm saying? So from seeing you and knowing you, bro, I feel like you have a lot that you can give to us as black men or black people in general, bro. Like as far as like, you know, your way of thinking and shit. Because we sat here, we had a whole conversation about everything. Like you see every side of everything. You know what I'm saying? You're not a person who is just solely stuck in their own way of shit or their own perception of life. You understand that you got your perception and there's others with their perception and other people are moving off that particular perception of life. So with that knowledge, you were blessed with that. So with that shit, how do you feel you can help with the knowledge you have?
I mean, I feel like the greatest weapon that I have at this current juncture is my voice. That's the greatest weapon I have. Ultimately, all I can, you know, I can approach everybody with love and equality, son. And I don't know, I think that I've been kind of like rolling around the idea of maybe trying to do like a podcast or maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, but ultimately, like, I only want to do it to help people. Like, I'm not trying to gain nothing from it. Like, I'm not trying to get rich off it or get paid off of it, nothing like that. Like, I just want to, like, impart my wisdom and, like, you know, like I said, when I die, like, I want that to be a part of my legacy. It's like, yo, this nigga Chris, like, he wasn't just like some, you know what I mean, regular ass nigga, like whatever, like he was really out here, you know, living his truth and really speaking and talking that shit and really out here for the betterment of people. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what I want to leave, and you know what I want to continue to try to work towards and build upon. You know,
that's it, bro. I definitely, like, you know, I was asking that question because I definitely feel like a podcast is definitely like the dopest way for you to go, because your voice, bro, like, you have a lot of shit to say. You got a lot up here. You've been blessed with a lot of knowledge that other niggas don't have, that they would, nigga, be blessed to have the opportunity to even listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got that. And I feel like, you know, you can help us, nigga, by just putting your voice out there. That's why I'm glad you be doing the lives and shit. Most times I see you on there, nigga, I click on it, I check it out, because I know my nigga got something insightful to say. I appreciate you for sliding through, my nigga. And like I said, you should get that podcast going. So before I let you go, nigga, get the people all your shit, where they can reach you at, you know what I'm saying, as far as, you know, Instagram goes. Yeah, just give me the Instagram.
Man.
Get people the Instagram.
Yeah, man, just follow my Instagram at I'm_still_cloudy_C. And yeah, man, you can find me on Facebook too and shit, because that's really where I'll be fucking around on Facebook at Chris Walker. You feel me? It's real simple.
Straight like that.
Chris Walker. Or you can look up like Just Listen, JUSLISSIN. You feel me? You can do that shit too.
Just listen on what?
Facebook.
Oh,
it's just connected to the Chris Walker page.
Okay, for sure.
And so, yeah, you feel me? Or I think you can look up, matter of fact, I think you can look up like Wolf Walker or something too. So I think that shit connected too. Either way, but yeah, man, Chris Walker, bro, like, I think I got a picture of Larry David. Look, you don't even know it's me. I got a picture of Larry David and shit.
Nigga retarded.
But yeah, man.
Well, shit, man. That's the Grand Tavern. I appreciate y'all for checking in. I appreciate you for sliding through, bro. Dropping that knowledge, nigga, like always, bro.
You know.
But y'all know what it is. Tune in. Grand Tavern with my nigga Chris Walker, Arthur Kelly.
Sir.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
We out.
I'ma get it off the muscle. If I ain't got it now, guaranteed I'ma hustle. Try and take mines, little nigga, I'ma bust you. Only fuck with gang if you ain't, I don't trust you. Flexing on these niggas, yeah, I got it off the